Hey, you got to lower down these counts. What did you do?
Here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Matthew Jacobs with Ohio Weather Specialist. Back with you again here tonight with another live update on the current winter weather situation. Joining me for this live stream is none other than CEO and owner of the team, Jeremy Fabian.
Hi, everybody. This is Jeremy Fabian, CEO and owner of Ohio Weather Specialist. And we are coming to you tonight live with some critical updates on the winter storm that is coming through Ohio at this time.
That's right, Jeremy.
No, that's right. Currently, it looks like Defiance, Ohio, all the way to Defiance County, all the way down to, it looks like Butler is getting the majority of the snow. With the thicker bands going to be in Darke County. Looks like it's over in Wayne County as well in Indiana. But the pink is actually going to be your darker snow coming into Ohio. If you notice, the snow actually travels all the way over to Richland, Delaware. We're looking at Greene County, Warren County.
Give me 1 second to pull up the Cleveland radar, and we can, because for some reason Wilmington can't quite reach that far up. So,
okay,
let me pull up this Cleveland radar here really quick, and let me see what we're working with up here, and then we can give them a whole statewide view.
Sounds perfect. Yes, we've got to cover everybody in the state here.
Just bear with us here. Sometimes these radars will take just a little bit. There we go.
Oh, yes. All right. So it looks like it's actually going all the way to Mahoning County, Stark County. I see some in Holmes. Holmes actually has snow, but it looks like it's getting close to the sub-freezing that we have going on as well. Did you guys notice the yellow on the radar? That's actually sub-freezing temperatures. And the sub-freezing temperatures are actually taking place of the snow at this time, dropping more of a hail, sleet kind of mixture going on. Not much snow involved. It looks like the snow pattern that we were expecting might be taking a little twist on us.
That's
do you have anything that you could add to it?
Yeah, that's correct, Jeremy. So just to kind of piggyback off what you were talking about here, these lavenders and purples, that's your heavier snow bands. Your blue, and I guess that would be like a baby blue. That's more of a lighter band of snow. This salmon color and into the darker red, and then like you had talked about, the blue. Jeez, it's been a long day. I am so sorry. Yellow. I do know my colors. That is your freezing rain. And, bear with us here because I do want to show you. So this is into Pennsylvania here. And then there's kind of a little break right here near Mahoning County, but you can still see where the little specks of yellow come down into Stark, Wayne, like you said, Holmes County, Knox County, Delaware. You can see where that line is. Now we come back into the Wilmington radar. And like I said, bear with us because sometimes it does take a second or two for everything to pop up. So I do apologize for the delay.
Yeah, we could be playing some elevator music, huh?
Yeah. So we left off there at, Holmes and Knox County. You can see right there Champaign, Clinton. You can see where this is pushing eastward. With that latest update, you can see how everything kind of shifted a little bit more to the east. But the counties right here, along the southern borders, Pike, Adams, Scioto, and those were the ones that went to a level 2 snow emergency very early. Gallia, Lawrence, and Meigs. You can see this is where the heaviest band of freezing rain is right here. Just looking at some reports just to the south of there into, that is Kentucky, or no, sorry, that's West Virginia right there. Reports of multiple down trees and power lines around Hart's Mountain, and then It's the same thing around that Dingus Mountain. If it is, that's a great name. That's a great name for a mountain, Dingus Mountain. We'll be nice to him. We'll say it's Dingus.
Dingus. There it is, Dingus Mountain.
And then you see back here in Madison County, Kentucky, the city of Richmond is reporting 4 inches of sleet. Ravenna, which is in Estelle County, Kentucky, 2 inches. And all that is tracking, that all came from there and is in Ohio currently. You can see up here in Belmont County, they're already reporting 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain, as well as Marshall County. We are Marshall County, West Virginia, and the city of Moundsville. So you can see, and then Zanesville is reporting 1/2 inch of heavy sleet. So it's funny because they've just been all over the place with this model, and it started out my part of the county or state, excuse me, was supposed to be 2 to 5 inches of just snow, and down in your neck of the woods is supposed to be the heaviest. And now they're predicting my part of the state to get to 8 to 12 inches. You guys are supposed to get 2 to 3 inches of snow, but a crap ton of freezing rain and sleet.
Yes. We've already got 2 inches of ice, and it's falling again. So definitely, if you're going to be on the roadways, definitely use caution. Only go out if necessary.
It's like you and I have talked about before too. Just keep in mind, just because you're clear to after tomorrow, there's another system tracking toward the state of Ohio for Thursday. There's no definite where, when, and how much yet, but they are talking about another significant weather system moving into the area on Thursday. Just so you have that in the back of your mind. So, if you make it through and then Wednesday things kind of clear up and you think you're in the clear, just keep in mind that even if you make it through Wednesday, there's supposed to be another system moving in on Thursday.
Yes, actually, the snowstorm that they're getting down in Louisiana and Texas right now is heading northeast right now, coming our way.
Which is funny because what we're getting right now all track from that same general location as well.
Yes, well, there's a little system in the Gulf that keeps producing more and more snow and sleet.
I just have to point this out really quick. I know we are an Ohio weather team, but at one point in time, Porter County, Indiana, which is up there, I think Lake County is where. Is that Gary? Lake County, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, so Porter County, which is Valparaiso, they have reported 13.3 inches of snow 3 miles north of Valparaiso, Indiana.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you see that.
I was going to say, that's the snow system coming our way, right? Well, coming your way.
Yeah, well, kind of. I think, it's all the... So what I think this storm has done, and I mean, you can kind of just see, I wish I had... I'll just do this with my cursor. You can see how it's just kind of wrapping around itself a little bit. So I think it, must have hit hard up that way and turned and, almost like a hurricane. You see the motion of a hurricane.
Yeah.
It's the same thing this system is doing. And I think it's, but you have to remember what we had got earlier in the day and yesterday and into, at about noon to this afternoon, then it stopped. And then the second band of snow was what they had. But I think it was much worse when it was west of us.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Nebraska and them got it a lot worse than we are.
So I think that's why you're seeing, near Chicago, 8 inches of snow. Like I said, Porter County over there and Indiana, the city of Valparaiso. If you're familiar with the area, they had 13. Let me stop the motion here really quick. Down here in Cumberland County, Illinois, they have 10 inches. Coles County, Illinois, 8.5. I think by the time the morning comes, I think a lot of our counties around this general area here are going to be seeing those kind of numbers as well.
So if you like snow and you live in the northwestern quadrant of Ohio, you should be in a good mood tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people, so.
Well, we don't like the ice down here, but if you like ice skating, southeastern part of Ohio is definitely your spot to be in.
Right. Just give me 1 second here. I'm pulling something up. I just curious. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I did take a little ride out in the Washington Courthouse City and out in the country to check the roads out there. And I'll tell you now, there was a lot of cars sliding around. I was driving around 10 miles an hour, and that was still too fast to be driving on the roads. To be honest, down in the frozen part of Ohio, I should say, where we're getting mainly sleep, most of the road crews are not going to be out in this because it's really pointless to put salt down. And then if snow comes over top of it, they would have to plow the salt with the snow. So they're waiting until later confirmation on whether we're going to get snow or more ice. So just a little tip for everybody. Definitely be careful if you go out. Use extra caution. Only go out if you need to. Call your work before you go in to make sure that you do have to go to work, and make sure your pets are inside. We always stress that, but definitely make sure your little puppies and kitties are inside. If you got goats or rabbits, I guess you can bring them in the garage.
Yeah, that's correct. One thing I was just checking. So as some people may know, that we have a weather station located in Van Wert, Ohio, and it is currently showing 1.98 inches of snow for the day. So that is how much we have in our weather station in Van Wert, Ohio. It's currently 12.4 degrees with a real feel of 7.1. So dew point is all the way down to 11 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, at least your winds aren't as bad as they are down here. Down here, we're up to 15 mile an hour winds. I'm not sure what the gusts are at the moment. One thing that I have noticed is there's a lot of blowing snow from our just recent snow that we have received generously in the past few days. So that also makes these roads a little more treacherous with the blowing snow. But yeah, we haven't got any snow today, Matt. I'm kind of jealous.
It seems like Mother Nature just loves giving it to us. Here's a new update for Miami County, 2 miles north of Troy, Ohio. 6.1 inches of snow currently reported in Troy, Ohio. So, like I said, I think by the time it's all said and done, we're going to start seeing some of these totals that we were seeing back here to the west. So, here's another city. I'm going to assume that's Couts, Indiana importer. They reported 6 inches of new snow in the past 4 hours. Mind you, Valparaiso is right there also, and they were reporting 13. So they're probably somewhere in the probably 14, 15 inch range back there. I don't think we're going to see it that much here, but still, for this swath of Ohio, if you can follow my cursor, I don't know, can you see that, Jeremy?
Yes, sir, I can.
If you follow the Great Lake, or Great Lakes, I'm sorry, all the way down to the Indiana-Ohio line, and then to about Claremont County, and on up, if you follow the cursor, that's probably where you're going to see the heaviest snowfall. And then everything on this side, so follow this orange and yellow line all the way up, Trumbull County, I think, is kind of where it trailed off at. That is where you're going to see your freezing rain and sleet totals, be a lot higher.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, the southeastern part of Ohio, I don't see us getting the 8 to 10 inches of snow. It's mainly going to be the freezing rain with the like I said, the sub temperatures and everything going on. And yes, I look forward to the northwestern quadrant of Ohio to they're going to be getting the snow totals. I would say up to 10 inches, if not more.
So just to clue people in, this is how we kind of divide the state up. I think this is kind of universal, just in case you're new to Ohio or you're watching us and you're not from Ohio. This is Franklin County, which houses our state capital, which is Columbus. And this is Interstate 70. So what we kind of do is you draw the line across there. That's 70. Everything on this side of 70 or Franklin County is your northwest part of the state. Everything on this side is your northeast, southeast, southwest. Even though I'm sure Jeremy would kind of argue with me because he likes to call himself southeast, but he's closer to, I don't know, you're in that weird area, really, because you're about the same amount of distance from, Cincinnati as you are to Columbus, as you are to West Virginia, as you are to Kentucky. So,
yeah, we're actually right between Columbus, Dayton, and Cincinnati. We're right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah. So, which it's funny too, because even though we're, 4 counties away from the Michigan border, they consider Darke, Mercer, and Van Wert like this little Putnam, Allen, Auglaize, and Shelby West Central Ohio, which I've never quite understood that either. So, yeah.
There's Central, West Central, yeah. This is an update that we definitely think everybody needed to see because everybody's asking, well, when's the snow coming? When's the snow coming? Why am I only hearing ice ting against the windows? And, well, this is the main reason why the storm has taken a twist. And that's something that that a lot of storms do, and that's why we do what we do. We keep an eye on it at all times, so when it does make a little twist, we can keep you updated.
That is very true, Jeremy. And one thing I wanted to update people on, the latest, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. The latest update for Montgomery County. Montgomery County is now in a level 2 snow emergency, as well as, and I know you said this on a video earlier, so I apologize if I'm repeating this, but Fayette County is under a level 2 snow emergency at this time as well.
Yes. And so is Clinton County. I got an alert for Clinton County. They're under level 2 as well.
Basically, if you're in the state of Ohio, stay at home. Unless you absolutely have to travel, stay at home.
Right. And one thing you might want to do is make sure you're listening to your local radio stations and watching your local TV stations, because there will be a lot of closings. Our schools in Miami Trace and Washington Courthouse City Schools, they're already closed, as well as Wilmington schools. So most likely there won't be any schools tomorrow, but make sure you're checking these things out, as well as check the levels, because if it gets to a level 3, you are not permitted on the road at any cost unless it's a dire emergency, which means that you've got to go to the hospital, or you've got to go check on your children because something happened. That is it. Otherwise, you will get a ticket. You will be put in jail, and they will tow your vehicles.
That is true, Jeremy. And to piggyback off of what you're talking about with school closings, I know all 3 Van Wert County schools, Lincoln View, Van Wert, and Crestview local school districts have closed for tomorrow. Salina and Mercer County has closed. And that's the only school I saw there. But I'm going to assume if the city school closed, that, all your little St. Henry and Coldwater, all your little country schools around there in Mercer County are probably closed too. So I'm assuming, and just to take that a step further, probably everybody, Defiance, Paulding, Ottawa Glandorf, which is in Putnam, all the Allen County schools, none of you will probably have school tomorrow. Don't turn your alarm off if you're a kid listening to me, just in case. But I'm going to venture to guess you could probably fire up the Xbox first thing in the morning and you're going to be good.
Yeah, make sure you, like I say, tune into your local TV station. I know WBNS 10 TV plays all closings and delays on the bottom of their screen at all times, as well as during the news. They will give out all closing and delays. Make sure you watch your local news in the morning and listen to your local radio stations. And if you do have a weather radio, make sure you listen for alerts.
Yeah, that is for sure, Jeremy. One thing I will also say, we have been talking about the past few days, and this is something neither one of us, I believe, thought about. Batteries. You're gonna, if we do lose power, you're gonna need them for a flashlight, a radio. If you want your NOAA weather radio updates, those are all gonna take batteries. So if you have batteries, but you're not sure whether you have new batteries in all your devices, then something I would suggest doing is getting fresh batteries in all the devices you need for an emergency situation.
Yes, definitely. Also, make sure that if you go to heat your house, do not, I should say, take precautions when you do so if it's not through your regular heating system. Personally, I have had to go to 3 different fires in the last 2 days to help assist with some road trafficking. And mostly, there's one of them I know was due to someone actually using a kerosene heater in their house. And they went to the store, and when they came back, their house was completely in flames. So please make sure that if you're using a secondary heat source, use it properly. It could save your life, your kid's life, your pet's life, and it could save your home.
That is for sure. And just a couple other things to go over. And I know, Jeremy, you'll 100% agree on this. I would hope so. Tomorrow, don't try to get out. And unless it's an absolute emergency. I mean, Junior can go another day without Fruity Pebbles, or Sally can not have toast with her eggs tomorrow. Just please, for your sake and your children's sake, unless you are literally, it's a life and death situation, just stay home tomorrow. My wife works as a DSP, and they have to go in homes of people with mental and physical disabilities, and they've already called off tomorrow. Like they're not allowed, and you can imagine how important of a job that is. So, with people with mental and developmental disabilities, they very much like to stick to routines, and when they get out of their routines, it can cause them to have behaviors and stuff like that. So, for her company to call off, you can imagine how serious everybody is taking it up here, as well as my father, who's worked in a factory for 30 years. When he found out they closed third shift tonight, he said, well, what a difference, 5 years makes. He said, if I was working there in the blizzard of 78, by God, they'd have found a way to get me to work, and then I couldn't leave because I had no way to get out of there.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true. They'd have kept them there to get some extra hours in, cover those that couldn't come in.
So that's why I just exercise, especially I'm located in Van Wert County. If you're in this part of the state, just don't do it. Just stay home. I know.
I would say most of the state itself, because even down here in the southeast, south central quadrant, it's going to be all ice, and it's really not worth wrecking your vehicle or possibly slipping, falling, injuring yourself to go to the store or something of the sort, unless it is a dire emergency.
And one other thing, and I think you've touched on it. Plows at this point, as cold as it is, ice will do no good. As well as sometimes.
Wait, Matt, you mean salt?
Yeah, salt. Yeah, well, let's throw more ice on top of the ice. Yeah, I've been doing this for over 12 hours at this point. You knew what I meant though, so
yeah.
And sorry, my phone. But where was I going? Oh, and you're almost better off if you do have to be out tomorrow. Don't be mad if you're driving on top of snow, because you're better off driving on that snow than what's underneath that snow pile, and that's ice. So just keep that in mind when you go to complain about how your state and city and county guys didn't get out and clear your roads very well. One, it's not going to do you any good. And two, you're better driving and getting traction in the snow than you are the ice underneath the snow.
Yeah, exactly. Down here in the southeast quadrant, we're definitely praying for some snow to cover up the couple inches of ice we've already accumulated on the roads. Like I said, they're not putting salt down because it's pointless. You've got this, sub-freezing temperatures, along with, if we do get snow, the plows will just plow right over the salt, and it won't do any good. So they're going to have to wait until the clearing comes to actually drop down any salt and let it do any good. But yeah, if you've got snow on your road, don't complain. Really, the ice is no fun to drive on.
And the funny thing about that is we were talking earlier off camera about just how unpredictable weather can be, and we've said this in a couple videos. Yesterday, 2 days ago at this time, we were telling you, if you live up in Northwest Ohio, you're only going to get 2 to 5 inches of snow. And now, as you can see, there's already 6+ in some areas in Ohio. So, as much as we like to give our weathermen a hard time, remember, while there is a science to forecasting weather, weather can change as many times as it wants. It's not on a schedule. It's not on a deadline. It does what it wants. It is a screaming infant, and it does what it wants.
Yes, you're completely true. You can be showing you're getting rain 1 minute, and the next minute you're getting snow. It's Ohio.
I just wanted to read this down here. That's why I left my cursor on it. In Preble County, Ohio, in Camden, train spotter drove from Liberty, Indiana to Camden and indicated 6 to 12-inch drifts across 725 and dangerous wind chills. Described road as unpassable. So I'm not sure if that means he got to Camden and couldn't go anymore, or...
See, one thing people got to remember too, it's not just the city roads and the county roads. The freeways are included in this. The interstates are included in this. They are horrible. I mean, we've seen, I couldn't tell you how many pileups in other states from the snow and the ice. We're going to be having the same issues in Ohio on our freeways and on our interstates and state routes. They're going to be filled with ice and snow. There's going to be a lot of sliding.
That's true. And another thing to go along with what you're saying is you notice that in Camden, they're only reporting 4.5 inches of snow, but the drifts are already between 6 and 12-inch drifts. So, as you can tell, at some places in the state tonight, it's not going to be the amount of snow that's going to get you in trouble. It's going to be the wind that blows through and drifts across the road, especially if you live on a north-south road. It is going to make for almost impassable, if not impassable, conditions in a lot of areas. And that's where the snow is. And then you get down, like we talked about, in your neck of the woods, unless your car has ice skates, good luck to you driving.
Yeah, and just remember, just because you have four-wheel drive does not mean you can drive on ice just fine, because four wheels will spin just as quick as two wheels will.
I'm just changing radar to Charleston really quick. Just want to check and see, this little part where the heaviest of
the heaviest of the ice is.
Yeah, I just want to see what it looks like from the Charleston radar, just to get a different view of it. Once again, I apologize. It does take a couple seconds for this to load. In a perfect world, it would be at the snap of a finger, but here we go. It looks about the same. Maybe a little more vivid, a little bit more heavy. There.
Well, it's looking like Fayette County might get a little bit of snow. It's right at the northwestern tip. We got a little bit of snow on there, I see. Maybe I'm getting excited. But it does seem to be that the snow might be moving in a little bit to the east. Instead of the northeast, it might be shifting a little bit more to the just the east itself.
Yeah, I think it would be like an east-northeastern direction that the snow is taking.
Well, one thing you got to remember, too, people got to remember, is this is a snowstorm that's been traveling from Texas and Louisiana and down south, coming up this way the whole time. So it's been a pretty slow but moderate moving storm. And they tend to shift directions quite a bit, whether it's a rainstorm, a thunderstorm, snowstorm. They tend to switch directions. Like Matt said just a little bit ago, storms have their wow, that's a better picture. Holy cow. Yeah, you're getting your 10 inches, 12 inches. But like Matt said earlier, the weather has no definite pattern. If anybody's ever paid attention to like hurricanes and stuff like that, you know that they will say this is the projected pattern, but then there's 30 other projected patterns with it. Same thing goes with thunderstorms, snowstorms, all of that. There are 30 different projected patterns, but it's trying to figure out which one's going to be the correct one. That's why we are, like I said, staying live like we have been and keeping you guys updated frequently, because this storm is changing frequently, as you guys can see.
Yep, and so KIWX is located, I want to say North Webster, yes. So it's north and west of Fort Wayne, Indiana, if you guys are familiar with Fort Wayne. And the reason we check that radar is it covers Williams, Defiance, Paulding, and Van Wert. And in Ohio. And what's really funny is I would venture to guess that, Fulton, Henry, well, actually, yeah, Fulton, Henry, Putnam, and Allen County, you would think that those are probably closer to North Webster than they are Wilmington, but for some reason, Wilmington covers this part of Ohio. But the first four counties are covered by North Webster, and that's why we check the North Webster. I'm sure you've heard the weather radio going off and on today in the background of our videos. And for a while, the only one I could get in was the Fort Wayne weather radio. And the reason we do that is there are parts of Ohio that are covered by Indiana, and it's the same way over in the eastern part of the state. Charleston, West Virginia covers part of our state, and so does Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You are very true. One thing I also want to mention is another reason why we like to use KIWX is because most of the weather that comes into Ohio comes from Indiana. So we tend to use some of the Indiana radars to determine what's going to come into Ohio and where it's going to come to. Because, like I said, it will venture from Indiana, usually Illinois, Indiana, and then into Ohio. So it lets us know what's actually coming our way most of the time.
Yep, that is correct. And, the majority of, no matter what kind of weather we get, except maybe snow, 90% of the time, which this snowstorm is a bit of an exception. Usually it comes from the lakes down, or, up here in Chicago, this area, Michigan, and tracks down. But when it comes to severe weather or thunderstorms, stuff like that, it's usually, southwest to northeast. So usually we can track it from coming into Indiana with the Paducah radar that, and then track it till it gets to Indianapolis. And by the time it gets to Indianapolis, we have a pretty good idea of exactly a target area or a general target area of where the weather is going to enter Ohio at.
Yes. And like you said, most of the time our snow comes from the north. This time it's actually coming from the south.
That is correct, Jeremy, which makes this and we've said it a few times, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me say it, but just an interesting storm. If you're a weather follower, enthusiast, fan, spotter, whatever, it makes it more interesting when these storms choose to, take a different approach. Come from different areas. It's fascinating. At least it's fascinating to me to watch it and study it.
Oh, definitely. Yes, I love watching them. We learn constantly more and more every day. He's switching over again.
Yep, heading over back to Wilmington. Sorry.
Okay, KILN.
Down here.
Located in Wilmington, Ohio.
Which covers a good, I want to say Mercer County. I think we've talked about, all the way over in this general area, probably Belmont County. It covers all the way down, that swath of Ohio right there. So
yeah,
I want to say that radar site definitely covers the most area of Ohio.
Yeah, I want to agree with you there. It does. That's one of the mainly used ones is KILN because it does. It covers the most area in Ohio.
And it's interesting because you don't necessarily think about it, but just look at the difference in looking at the northern Indiana compared to Wilmington, looking at up northwest of I-70. I always try to tell people it's like using your eyes. The further you get away from something, the harder it is to read or to see. Well, imagine a radar is the same thing. It bounces beams into the air, and then if it hits something, it brings that data back to the radar, and that's why the further away from a radar you get, the more useless a radar is, because it travels that much further, and the further it goes, it's harder and harder to pick up any kind of clutter in the atmosphere or any kind of weather, I guess would be the proper term, weather in the atmosphere.
I'm glad you brought that up because that would be a very interesting YouTube video for us to do is explaining how the Doppler radar works.
Yeah, definitely. And Jeremy will know exactly what I'm talking about. Working with you on a previous weather team, there's one spot in Ohio. It's right in this general area here. Once everything gets east of here, and it's west of here. This is no man's land. There is not a good radar site in the state of Ohio to pick up anything.
No, you're correct. There is not a radar site in Ohio or Indiana, anywhere that is a dead zone.
I mean, it is absolutely horrible to try to, determine like if there's rotation, possible tornado touchdown. That's why in a lot of these counties, a lot of these areas through here, the Skywarn trained weather spotters, EMA, EMS, and sheriffs, fire departments, the ones that go out and spot weather, are even more important in areas like that.
Very, very true.
But once again, just to wrap things up, and then we're going to let the radar run for a while with our buddies from NOAA Weather Radio, kind of talk you through the next, we'll stay on till maybe about 10 o'clock. Does that sound good, Jeremy?
Sounds great to me.
The next 12 minutes here, we'll let NOAA Weather Radio kind of talk you through the next few minutes of what you can expect for the next few hours. Once again, I'm Matthew Jacobs here with Ohio Weather Specialist. I am the president of Media Relations.
And I am Jeremy Fabian, CEO and owner of Ohio Weather Specialist. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our YouTube channel. Also, everybody have a great evening, and go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, also follow us on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Look us up by our team name, and you should be able to find us no problem.
Yes, everybody have a great and safe evening. Stay warm and enjoy the NOAA Radio.
ILN, as well as on our Facebook and Twitter pages. The National Weather Service 8 to 14-day outlook for Central Ohio for the period Tuesday, February 23rd through Monday, March 1st is calling for above normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. Normal temperatures for the John Glenn Columbus International Airport for the period have high temperatures averaging 44 degrees and lows averaging 27 degrees. Precipitation over the 7-day period averages 0.57 inches. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday for the following counties in Ohio: Fayette, Franklin, Licking, and Madison. Heavy mixed precipitation continuing. Additional snow and sleet accumulations of 2 to 4 inches. Plan on slippery road conditions. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Additional information can be found at www.weather.gov/ILN, as well as on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday for the following counties in Ohio: Fairfield and Pickaway. Heavy mixed precipitation continuing. Additional snow and sleet accumulations of 1 to 3 inches. Light ice accumulations are also possible. Plan on slippery road conditions. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Additional information can be found at www.weather.gov/ILN, as well as on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday. For Hancock, Wyandotte, Marion, and Morrow counties. Heavy snow occurring. Storm total snowfall accumulations of 8 to 12 inches expected through Tuesday afternoon. Localized higher amounts may be possible for areas near the Lakeshore and Snowbelt region. Travel will become very difficult. Areas are blowing snow could significantly reduce visibility. The hazardous conditions will impact this evening's commute and the morning commute on Tuesday. A more intense round of heavy snow will move in this evening and bring significant accumulations across the region overnight through early Tuesday morning. Additional snow amounts will be in the range of 6 to 10 inches by Tuesday morning. Localized higher amounts over 12 inches are possible in areas closer to the Lakeshore and Snowbelt region, with the potential of more intense snow bands and lake enhancement. This will allow for storm total accumulations of 8 to 12 inches across the warning area. Northeast winds will increase and becoming gusty up to 30 miles an hour this evening through Tuesday morning, which may cause areas of blowing and drifting snow. Wind chills as cold as the single digits to near 0 degrees are expected. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. The latest road conditions for the state you are calling from can be obtained by calling 511. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday. For Knox County, heavy mixed precipitation occurring. Additional snow accumulations of 6 to 10 inches and ice accumulations of a light glaze. Travel will become very difficult. The hazardous conditions will impact this evening's commute and the morning commute on Tuesday. A more intense round of heavy snow will move in this evening and bring significant accumulations across the region overnight through early Tuesday morning. Additional snow amounts will be in the range of 6 to 10 inches by Tuesday morning. However, the snow may briefly change over to a wintry mix with sleet or freezing rain for a few hours this evening, and a longer duration of mixed precipitation would cut down on snowfall totals in these counties. This will allow for storm total accumulations of 6 to 10 inches across the warning area. Northeast winds will increase and becoming gusty up to 30 miles an hour this evening through Tuesday morning, which may cause areas of blowing and drifting snow. Wind chills as cold as the single digits to near 0 degrees are expected. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. The latest road conditions for the state you are calling from can be obtained by calling 511. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 10 a.m. Tuesday. For Perry County, heavy mixed precipitation. Additional snow accumulations of up to 1 inch and ice accumulations of up to 0.2 of an inch. Power outages and tree damage are likely due to the ice. Travel could be nearly impossible. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Additional information can be found at https://www.weather.gov/RLX, as well as on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday. For Muskingum County, heavy freezing rain. Ice accumulations of 1 to 0.2 of an inch. Travel could be very difficult. the hazardous conditions could impact the morning or evening commute. Here is a hazardous weather outlook for the following counties in Ohio: Champaign, Clark, Delaware, Fairfield, Fayette, Franklin, Greene, Hocking, Licking, Madison, Pickaway, and Union. Very cold temperatures in the single digits above and below zero are likely Tuesday night. Another round of wintry precipitation is expected Wednesday night through Thursday with a potential for accumulating snow. Very cold temperatures in the single digits are possible Friday night. Weather spotters are encouraged to report snow and ice accumulations to the National Weather Service. Here is the nearshore marine forecast for waters within 5 nautical miles of the south shore of Lake Erie. Tonight, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots becoming north. Snow. The lake is mostly ice-covered. Tuesday, north winds 15 to 20 knots becoming northwest 10 to 15 knots. Snow in the morning, then a chance of snow showers in the afternoon. Tuesday night, northwest winds 10 knots or less. Mostly cloudy in the evening, then clearing. Wednesday, northeast winds 10 knots or less becoming east. Mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming mostly cloudy. Forecast wave heights omitted due to the lake being mostly ice-covered. The water temperature off Toledo is 33 degrees, off Cleveland 34 degrees, and off Erie 32 degrees. Now looking at the weather patterns affecting the southern Great Lakes and Ohio Valley region. Significant winter storm to continue to impact the region overnight into early Tuesday as surface low pressure tracks into the upper Ohio Valley. Surface high pressure will settle over the region, bringing dry weather and cold temperatures Tuesday into Wednesday. Another system with a similar trajectory will create another round of winter weather for Wednesday night and Thursday. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for central Ohio, including Columbus and vicinity. Overnight, snow and sleet late this evening, then snow. Total snow accumulation of 4 to 6 inches. Lows 10 to 15. Northeast winds around 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour, becoming north. Chance of precipitation 100%. Tuesday, cloudy. A chance of snow showers in the morning, then a chance of flurries in the afternoon. Cold with highs around 20. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of snow 50%. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of flurries in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Cold with lows 0 to 5 above. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly cloudy. Cold with highs in the lower 20s. East winds around 5 miles an hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy.